Hey.
What up, Jairus?
Popping.
Can you hear
What's
us?
good with it, man?
Hey, man.
Definitely, bro.
Steve on the motherfucking couch, bro.
Yes, sir, bro.
Oh, this guy knows you.
That's the homie.
That's my bro.
I didn't even know that, bro. You didn't even
Yeah.
tell me. That's great. That's even better. See, I got the right guy.
Yeah, bro. That's my guy right there.
Oh, man, you just made my day even more.
So how you
That's
been,
what's
bro?
up. Yeah, man. How y'all feeling?
Good, man. Thank you for doing this, spending some time with us. I know you're a busy guy, so we appreciate it.
It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, man, we just been I've been doing some interviews. I've been lucky enough to interview some great players, especially here in San Diego. But I've been starting to reach out. I've been blessed with getting to talk with some jazz heavies, like including Chris Potter and Peter Erskine and stuff, like I was telling you. So I've been kind of trying to branch out stuff that I'm into, you know, music, people I admire. So you came to mind, and I told Steve, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to try and reach out. What do you think? He's like, give it a shot, man. So
no, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm a huge fan. You know, it's, you know, the way you play guitar is really speaks to me. And, you know, coming from a background, you know, playing Hendrix and, you know, falling in love with that stuff at a young age, and then slowly finding jazz and then gospel music, you know, so when I remember seeing, you know, that viral video that we all probably saw of you back in the day with the red Strat. And I remember,
Hear and play.
what's that?
The hear and play?
Yeah, just hear. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. Yeah. So, you know,
Yeah.
hearing you play like that, and I was hooked ever since. So, I mean, we just want to talk to you, ask you some questions about your life, things you're doing nowadays, people you're working with.
Dope.
You know, one thing for me, I know you went on tour with so many great artists, and you were young. So what was it like maybe playing some gigs like that at such a young age and playing with some heavies like that?
Man, it's like a movie. It's like, like, cause for me, I wasn't really expecting all that coming from church and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, growing up in church, we don't really understand how talented the people are around us, I don't think, until later on in life. You feel me? When you look back, you're like, dang, like, they was playing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't really understand, grasp it at a young age. So once I got out, like, you know, playing around people, I guess they saw that, you know, and I didn't understand why people was gravitating towards me. And now I know it was the church stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like a movie, man. Like, I got to play with Prince right out of high school.
Yeah,
like,
that's wild.
Well, actually, I was in high school. I was in my senior year of high school.
That's crazy.
And just imagine, you know, him sending like limos to pick you up from the school and stuff. Like, so I had that kind of life at a young age. And yeah, man, it just came out of nowhere. Cause like I was about to go and say, like, coming up in church, we never listened to Prince or anything. It was like, you know, it's like, stay away from Prince. He's evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, but after a while, you know, I was talking to my mom, and, you know, she was like, you know, he's not really like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like kind of like an act or whatever. So, you know, yeah, I got to hang out with all these celebrity stars, John Blackwell, rest in peace, Questlove, like any type of like jam session he was having at his house, I was there. And I was 17 years old, and I was just like,
wow.
In this cloud of just amazing people. Just, it was crazy.
And so do you just like, were you just trying to absorb as much as you could? What was it like like, I'm trying to think of what I would be doing in that situation. I would just be on cloud nine. Like, I don't even know, man. I just like
Yeah, it was, bro. That's basically what it was. I mean, honestly, bro, it was so surreal. I didn't understand it at the time. It was happening so fast. So can you imagine being in like, you know, regular orchestra, you know, and then going to jazz band, and then going to PE, and then right after that, you getting picked up to go to Prince's house.
Dude, that's murder.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, huh? It was just an awkward, weird time, but it was fun. So I was just kind of just riding the moment, man. And I got to learn from Frank McComb. Shout out to him. Frank McComb was in the band. He was the leader. The MD. Cora Coleman was playing drums, and her husband at the time, Josh Dunham, was playing bass. And man, just imagine me. I was going from that orchestra jazz and then going to Prince.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was just surreal, man. It was surreal. And I got to hang out with people like Oprah and stuff like that. You feel me? And like just talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like regular, normal people. Now I got to learn that celebrities and all that they're normal people like us, man. Just it's just a facade that, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Steve, were you gonna say something, man?
Was there like a culture shock, you being so young, being in those environments, or you like not trying to come off too green? You know what I mean? You said you were 17?
Yeah, 17. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I was my bad.
No, you're good, man.
I was 17, and bro, like it was a major culture shock. So like, just like I said, just imagine going from like, so I'm going to school at Long Beach Poly up the street, and it's hood, it's a little this, a little that, you know what I'm saying, and then go to like, Prince wants you to be there at this time. You walk in and they got this wardrobe laid out for you. You got all this, you got your food laid out for you. You got everything laid out. The business was on point. I remember my last time playing for Prince. I'll never forget this moment. We was in a lobby of his house. And he was like, I just came over there to jam with him. He called me they called me randomly. It was like 1 in the morning or something. They was like, man, come over here and come jam. So I came over there. Prince was on the organ. They had like me a little setup for the guitar, and they had Larry Graham was playing bass. Legendary. Yes. And John Blackwell. And I'll never forget this, man. After that, he I only played like 2 songs because I showed up like right at the end. And he was like, man, good job, da-da-da. And he just pulled out like $500 real quick. Thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? And then that was it. That was the last time I seen him. But I'll never forget how he was just like, he was like a real N-word, if I could say that. Like a real, that image that he had out there was, that was like a image. But on the inside, I tell people, go look at that video of him when he was in Minnesota, when he was 11 years old or 9 years old, that little tape, they just found it. But that's him. That's really him. He's like a real black guy from the hood. You feel me? Like, so like, don't get that misconstrued. Like, I learned so much from him being around. He was like cutthroat with his energy, like with his suggestions. He would immediately, if he saw something wrong, no. This, try this, do this. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't hesitant on saying if something was wrong. And I liked that. It was like tough. It was tough, but it was tough love. You know what I'm saying?
You get it right that way.
That's what I got from him. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Man, so going on tour with Prince, doing stuff like that, and then I know you grew up, or you were born in Indianapolis, right? Yeah. And then you came out to Long Beach. Was that like completely different worlds also?
Kind of, sort of, because my mom is originally from Long Beach. Oh. My whole family, my grandmom, all my grandfather, they all from LA. You know what I'm saying? So like growing up, even in Indiana, we was always out in California. Even at one point, we moved to California when I was a baby and moved back. So it was kind of like, back and forth. And then finally, my mom and dad got divorced when I was like 10. And my mom made the final decision. She was like, we're going to go to LA. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was kind of like, it was pretty smooth. Some things I had to get used to, adjust. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was pretty smooth. Like, it wasn't that hard for me.
And you grew up playing in the church, obviously. Like, is that how you learned playing music? Is that playing guitar? I know you played stand-up, like you said, at school a little bit, in orchestra. But I mean, you first and foremost, you were playing with your family every Sunday or what, throughout the week. And then you kind of started learning. I remember watching some videos of you talking about, and then I learned my notes and I learned my keys and I learned all this stuff and started studying theory. And like, what was that like? Because for me personally, I kind of did it backwards almost. Like I was playing guitar in high school, but I wasn't really around people that, it was just different for me growing up. And like I took lessons sort of, and then I realized I wanted to study, play guitar. So I went to school. And then I found, this church gig, and I found Steve-O and playing with all these guys. And then it was just like my, I was like, oh, this makes sense. This is actually what I'm hearing now. So like for you, it seems like it was just a different path. I'm just curious about it.
Yeah. So basically, man, I come from this long line lineage of guitarists.
Right.
And it's like something that's, it's kind of, I want to say it's a secret, but it's like one of the best kept secrets, in, the United States. Like shout out to people like Robert Randolph.
Yeah.
They come from our church. Yeah. So it's a church called Church of the Living God. And it's like Steve-O can attest to this, like in Kojic is more organ.
Mm-hmm.
It's organ heavy and keyboards, but ours is like guitar, guitar, steel guitar, a little bass here, but it's heavy on the guitar and steel guitar.
Right.
So I came up from a long lineage of steel guitar players, man. It's just like, I just picked up all of that, in it's in my DNA.
Yeah.
Along with, so imagine like my uncle plays, so I have aunts that play. I have
sick.
My great grandfather actually built the first church in LA of the organization.
Oh wow.
I mean, no, he was the first steel player in the organization. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, but he built the church that's in LA right now. Yeah, man, I just come from this long, crazy history of great, awesome guitar players. And I didn't understand it growing up how good they were. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't understand how good they were coming up until I got into the world. I'm playing stuff that I learned, from my dad and these people, and people were gravitating to it.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But then I took the stuff from the church. And then once we moved from Indiana to California, I started doing jazz band and stuff in middle school. So I was doing jazz band, playing the upright bass. So I learned bass clef. I was like a bass player back then at school. Yeah. They just knew me as a bass player slash drummer. You know what I'm saying? I was playing guitar on the side. So I didn't really pull out my guitar till my sophomore year of high school. Which was, it was weird. So if you ask anybody that went to school with me, like it's a guy named Dustin Moore. His name's Neon Phoenix. He plays bass. A lot of people anybody that went to Long Beach Poly, they'll tell you I was a bass player. I was known as the guy on the upright, killing all the solos, whatever, until this is what happened. Neon Phoenix came to the school. He was playing bass. And I was like, man, he can hold it down. I could just see him. I'm like, he can hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to switch to guitar. This is my time.
So you was waiting for
this is my time to just, and then I remember showing my teacher, I was like, I sat him down at the end of the year, my freshman year. I was like, bro, and I played to some Jamie Aebersold's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I played a couple solos and he was like, man, you're a little bluesy or whatever, but we're going to put you in the band as a guitar player next year. So I started playing guitar at school, implementing all that jazz stuff. Yeah. On the, you know what I'm saying, mixed with the churchy bluesy stuff.
See, that's what I love about your playing, man. For me, that's what speaks to, like, when I hear you play, I'm just like, yes, it's like everything that I would think of. It's Hendrix, it's like Wes Montgomery, it's some Metheny, and then it's just straight church. A little bit of everything. And it's just like, yes, dude, yeah.
Yeah, so that's literally what it is. I was just having this conversation with a guy named Kenny Beats, and he was like, man, like, what do you think when you're playing? I'm like, bro, I'm thinking about theory. A lot of people probably don't think that I am, but I am. I'm literally thinking of theories and shapes and colors and stuff like that. Other than, I learned church and all that. But when you combine both of those, it's like this amazing, this crazy stuff happens. Steve-O knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, this guy,
exactly what you mean.
This guy, I tell him every time, I'm like, Steve, I don't know if you know, bro, but you're incredible, dude. Like,
Yeah, he is, bro.
The way he speaks, the way you're talking right now is the way, like, I know what you mean because I witness this sometimes, and I'm just like, man, you can't teach that. And it's like, it's just like this, it's this untangible thing that in the moment, and it's so improvised. And it's like you're saying, it's like you hear it, and then you can also know what it is theory wise, and that's what for me really helped set me free. Yeah. I mean, man. So like that's interesting, man. So this whole like sacred steel, is that what you call it? That's what I've always known it
basically. Yeah, that's what they kind of dubbed it. Yeah,
I think that's tight. Yeah.
Yep.
So
but I grew up in that, bro.
I mean, dude, that makes so much sense because like I was on your website earlier, and like I was checking out the Robert Randolph video you have posted on there. For all you guys watching, you got to go listen to that. And it's like you guys, there's like 5 of you just jamming, and it's just like, but he's just murdering it on pedal steel. And it's just like, I don't know if most people realize how hard it is to play pedal steel. Like
extremely hard.
It's like extremely a harp where you're playing with your knees and sideways, and it's crazy. So, but like playing or being around that kind of sound and those kinds of like just playing like that, it makes perfect sense of how you kind of just absorbed it and then put it into like, you know, the future of like what you were doing. But I mean, man, I love it. I think it's great. So people watching, you got to go check out some of that stuff because he's right. That's kind of like a hidden secret.
Yes, sir.
Let me think. Steve, you want to jump in? If you got any questions,
I got one. Was there a point growing up where you realized that you had it or you had what it took? And I'm not, you know, but like I can really do this.
Though. So like, man, honestly, to be honest, like I was saying, I didn't even when I was playing with Prince and stuff, I kind of knew I had it. I was confident in my playing, but I still I don't think I knew that I really had it, honestly, fully until like the past couple years, honestly, bro.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And that's just honestly on the inside, feeling on the inside, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many other guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I'm just looking at like, it's really an insecurity, bro. You feel me? Like, to be honest with you.
It's crazy how it's not visible to nobody but you.
Yeah. Because I'm the only one that feels it. And you know what I'm saying? But like,
I think we met back in like 07.
I had that for a long time. Like, say it again.
I said, I think we met back in 07, and I just been watching you since. And I remember like the Saturday Night Live with Lil Wayne, and I was like, oh, bruh in his bag. Like, it's like not even on some other stuff, but like you know what you bring in, like, and it's just watching you just keep going higher is just crazy, man. But to know that you deal with the same struggles that we all deal with.
What? Bro,
you know?
It's times where I can't, been times, bro, where I did shows and I had to be in the back room and I had to cry real quick. It got that bad. Like, to where like, I don't know if anybody on here like watching, you got your name, the first time you see like your name on a marquee, that it really like, it does something to you like, damn, like that's my name on the marquee. Everybody's coming to see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that first time, I'll never forget it, bro. I got so nervous. They was literally like, he's playing with da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. I'm backstage like, it's like, I couldn't take it. Like, it was just like too much. And I had to hurry up and wipe my tears and just go out there and get it in real quick. You feel me? But like, I go through all that, man. I go through all the nervousness and all that crap, bro. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still keep a level of confidence that, you know, that keeps me through everything. You feel me? So I learned all that through like playing sports and stuff like that. Like, you gonna get knocked down, but like, I'm finna get up. Like, I'm finna get up and come back hard. You know what I'm saying? So like growing up, I got into a lot of fights and stuff like that. Sometimes you lose and it's like, well, okay, well, my next one, I'm not finna lose. Yeah. You feel me? So that's how I take on everything, you know, even after I had those little emotional battles sometimes, I'm like, man, forget that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Like, let's go.
It. That's cool, man.
I'll be saying you got that too, Steve-O. You got that let's go attitude.
Yeah, but I be going through all the roller coasters too, bro. It's like, that's the only way to get through it to me, though. It's like, man, F it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You got to say F it, man. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, that's it, man. you know?
So, man, let me ask you nowadays, like in your opinion, like if there's people watching that are learning guitar and trying to make it as a musician, what do you think, like, what's your advice to people that want to be a modern day successful working musician? Like, I mean, like what are some things that maybe you do that's just what you do them because it's just how you were raised, and whether it's like being good to people or showing up on time or practicing or whatever it is. I'm just curious, in your opinion.
Yeah, so mainly it's about like those things that you're saying. Like, so I say like playing is 50% of it, and then you got the other 50% is your personality, your character. You know what I'm saying? How you come off to people. Just be nice. Just be cool. Just be as cool as you can. You know what I'm saying? Try to stay groomed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As a man, as an adult, period. Like a lot of people don't understand how, even myself, like I went through that, like staying groomed all the time because people are looking at you. You feel me? Like you're an artist. You feel me? So like, if you know what I'm saying, just be on point. You feel me?
I get you.
And have your clothes, try to have something on that look like, okay, that's kind of tight. Like, you feel me? Even if you just chilling, you feel me? So like, that's what I had to learn over the years. Like, you can even go back to any of my old videos. Like, I used to not give a fuck. No, I don't know if we can cuss on here. But I used to not I used to not care about, bro, you could add, I remember one time, Layla Hathaway, she got on me one time about that. We was backstage at her show, and I'll never forget, I did a show in Mexico, spring break with Drake. This is when Drake first came out. And I'll never forget this. I had put on I went to the, I think they lost my luggage or something that show. So I went to a little store they had across the street and got this flannel. So I was thinking like, oh, this is tight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this flannel, like this is a random flannel from a regular old store. Yeah. Put it on, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. Then Layla Hathaway sees this and she tells me after the show, she's like, what the hell were you wearing with that flannel? Like, she's like, shoot. It was 99 degrees outside. You had on a flannel. You know what I'm saying? Like, what were you doing? Like, so that's when I started like learning about fashion and stuff. So like how you look is like very, very, very important. I don't care what you say, how you look. You feel me? And even you can see these arms, you know, I be getting in the gym. Yeah. Get in the gym.
Yeah, man. That's good advice, man. I like it.
Yeah, like it's like the little other stuff that's going to keep you around, and that stuff keeps you happy to where people are like, oh man, he's just a great person to be around, like and be able to listen to others, listen to them talk and pour into them. You know what I'm saying? Don't just take all the time. You know, be able to listen and give back, you know, and give sound suggestions yourself. So that's what I'll say, man. It's all about being a real-rounded, like, individual.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and then with the playing, definitely just try to tackle as many genres as you can as a player. So learn rock, learn, you know, Indian style music, learn Latin, you know what I'm saying? This is what kept me around and being able to, like, how many 17-year-olds can play for Prince? You feel me? Right. That's because I had like a hardcore urban upbringing. And then when I was in school, I was learning all these different other things, jazz. I was in orchestra. You know, I was in chamber orchestra. I was like the only black guy in
That's tight.
Like, you know what I mean? So like
playing with your bow.
I really took music serious, like very, very serious at a young age. You feel me? So that's what I tell people to do, man. Take as many theory classes as you can and mix that with just being a good person. Yeah. And then watch what happens, man. You're going to go far, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that makes sense. And I can imagine like that comes out through your music, especially when you're playing with other people all the time. If you're always angry or you're just I could see. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
so, I was trying to stay happy, man. You know, even if you watch the old videos, I used to always be just careless of how I moved and stuff. That's because I wanted people to get high off of just looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Even if you laughing at me, I don't care. Like, that's a good thing to me. Laugh at me. You having fun. You feel me? Like,
for sure.
So, yeah.
Nice, man. So what are some things that you are currently like excited about musically? Maybe people you're working with, or maybe it's not even music. Maybe it's just something else, some other part of your life that you're excited about. Whatever, I don't know. I'm just curious.
Man, I got an album that I just completed. It's called Trips.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yep. So I had a little trouble putting it out, but it's gonna come out. Hopefully, I'm gonna put it out probably like September, the first week of September.
Okay.
So y'all be on the lookout of that. You know what I'm saying? It's called Trips. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right, yeah, for sure. And where is it? Is it gonna be what, like on streaming platforms, on your YouTube, what everything, or what? I mean,
yeah, it'll be on all the streaming platforms. You know what I mean? Typical iTunes, Spotify. Yeah, nothing major. I'm not on a label or anything.
Okay.
If any labels y'all looking, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Because I need that extra push. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Can you have any advice for young musicians that are looking to put out their own music, and like the steps to maybe use your gigs to help fund that, or what they could do, steps they could take like that?
Yeah. Honestly, so the best way I think of recording is just hitting record. That's what I tell people all the time. Hit record and start playing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, I know they struggle with just that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Actually saying like, okay, I'm gonna do an album, but then they just don't record anything.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there in the studio. You go to some people's sessions and they just talking.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's hit record and let's just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way I think of, like, just starting to get your ideas out. Every day, record something. Hit record. Every day, record something new. Try to do that at least 3 or 4 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Then finally, you're going to hear some stuff out of those 4 or 5. By the end of the week, you'll have 20-some ideas. You'll be like, oh, dang, like 5 of these go with this, 5 of these over here, 5 over here. That's 3 albums already started already. You feel me? So that's how I move. I already actually got like 3 albums done. You know what I'm saying? That's just from just doing stuff every day, recording, hitting record. You know what I'm saying? So you get that one little guitar part, and then you just start building around it.
Yeah.
Start that bass part, and you start hearing like, oh, dang, I can get a horn over there, da-da-da. And then it just starts building. That's how you do your project. And I say barter a lot. What do I say?
Oh, no, nothing. Oh, I love it. What are you saying? Barter? Like ask someone to do something and you do something for them?
So yeah, so we're all a community of friends and people that's going through the same struggles. You feel me? So why wouldn't you, I would love to have you on my album. Even if you play guitar, but you will bring a different sound. You will bring a different vibe and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If we all family like that, we move like that, let's help each other. And let's make our albums dope. You help me, I help you. Call me when you got your session, I'm gonna pull up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I saw that Kamasi and all them guys.
Yeah.
And look at where they at.
Yeah, I mean, that's
what I'm saying?
You're preaching to the choir, bro. I hear it. That's why we're doing this right now, baby.
You know what I mean? So it's about just getting with those guys that's your friends and y'all jam. So like even like Corey Henry. A lot of his latest stuff is just from us jamming at his studio. We just hit record, boop, hit on a click, let's get a tempo, and we'll do like 7 ideas to that one tempo. Boom.
Oh shit.
You got like 7 songs right there. Go to another tempo. Boom. Boom, boom. And then before you know it, you got like 1,000 ideas. You don't even know what to do. You got so much stuff.
I love it, man. Just put in the work, just one step in front of the other, and then next thing you know.
You know, so
I like it. All right, nice. That's cool. Let me see here, man. So playing, like, man, I find it interesting. Like you coming from like the church stuff, like I was saying earlier. Me and Steve talk about this a lot. Just the way we think about music, and like me coming from, I don't know, just like studying jazz in school. It's so analytical, which is great. But there's another side of it. Like when I started playing at my church gig, like I just remember finally realizing like, wait, now I actually hear all those things that we were studying. Like all the theory, all the progressions, whatever you want, however nerdy you want to get. But it's like I started realizing like, man, I can actually hear this stuff now. And like for me, that's what really helped. Can you maybe speak to that a little bit of how that kind of clicked for you? I feel like that's a lot of times what I'm trying to explain to some of my students. You know, I tell them, you know, quote unquote, the answer, and it's like they get it. Oh, you play this scale over this or this and this, but it's like they don't really hear it. And then sometimes, like all of a sudden, if I say it in a certain way or we play it in a certain way, and they finally discover that sound, it's like you kind of see the light bulb go off. And like they kind of hear it more. I don't know. Maybe like what's like? Can you kind of speak to that? Maybe how do you teach some of your students? How do you talk about that stuff? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I know for me, when I hear certain chords, so like when I hear a major, I hear a certain shape. I hear a triangle.
Mm-hmm. No, I know exactly what you mean, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
So
that's so
it's
good.
weird. I know it's gonna throw y'all off.
No, I love it. No, that's totally.
We need it.
No, we get it. We get it.
So like even so that's on the bass and the guitar. That's one of the main shapes, a triangle. You're always using 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's triads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just connecting. You know what I mean? So it's all that plays a part. You're gonna, as you're going along playing in your career, there's gonna be moments where you're like, oh, I see what he was talking about.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna hit you because music theory is just too much, man. It's too much to gather at one time. You know what I'm saying? So like each thing is gonna probably take, you know, it'll take me a month to really grasp each thing that's in music theory, and that's like 1,000 things, right? So it'll take your whole life.
Yeah, I
it's
get
gonna take your whole life to learn, really master music theory. So
just be patient.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Just go on your journey, go on your path.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. That's cool, man.
Yep.
Steve, you got something?
Was there you mentioned your father plays guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any trouble finding your own thing? Being that you grew up hearing a certain way to play the guitar your whole life.
Yeah. So for me, actually, what's crazy is my dad, I got a lot from my dad. That was like my foundation, right? But then when we moved to California, I started hearing Jubal and Charlie Burrell and those guys and Tim Stewart. And so that's why a lot, you know, people gravitated to my sound too, because I was using the whammy bar and doing that kind of stuff. But that was me imitating Jubal Smith, period, flat out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at that old Hear and Play video, that's me, 18-year-old me, trying my best to play like Jubal Smith mixed with, you know, George Benson here, but it's overall, you can hear the Jubal Smith. You feel me?
For sure.
But at that time, I was really struggling, man. Like, I think I got my own sound, like really in the past, like 5 years, 5 to 7 years, where it's my sound. I know these are my specific licks that I created. Like, I know I made this lick up, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though everything around us has already been here before. It's just how you rearrange it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But like, I just got to the place now where I'm like, okay, like, yeah, like I can hear myself on a record. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I can remember I did that or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I got little signature licks.
Yeah.
That's like my signature, literally your signature. So that's what I recommend people get you, like 2 or 3 like licks that people can remember you by. You like every time they hear you play, you do these 2 or 3 things, and it's like, oh dang, okay, yeah, that's him. That's, you know what I mean? But other than that, have fun. I like playing all kind of genres and different things, but I always keep a little bit of, you know, the quartet sound, I guess you could say, the church quartet. I keep a little bit of that in there because people, that's what they want from me. You feel me? Like, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think I'm just different, bro. You know?
Yeah, I think most of us at that time had never heard Jubal play just like, we've heard Jubal on record, but that's a more polished, reserved thing. You on those videos was just like 18-year-old energy.
Yeah, it was raw
in that style. Yeah. So I get why people look at you for that, but you know, I feel what you're talking about too.
Yeah, and honestly, man, the way I kind of like to go piggyback off of that, he's right. Like, I remember hearing it and just thinking like, man, like you said, it's like George Benson meets like all sorts of stuff, but it was just like that. It's intriguing. It was intriguing to like hear it and like, oh man, there's a lot of stuff happening in different worlds all on this one player right now. So it's like, you've been able to kind of capture that's your spirit, that's your accent. Like that's just how you hear things and play. And it's like, everyone has their own voice, but sometimes it's hard to find it. So it's like,
bro, I'm a gumbo. I'm just like everybody else. I'm a gumbo of every.
Right. You're like a mutt.
Yeah. I'm a gumbo of Tim Stewart, Jubal Smith, Charlie Burrell, Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery, all those guys, man. Jimi Hendrix, everybody, man. Like I love everybody and hearing everybody, man.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, man. I mean, just to kind of basically try and surround your stuff with as much styles, as much music as you can. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I was going to say something. Oh, I remember watching something. It was online one of your videos, but you started talking about how Tim Stewart really kind of helped like take you under his wing. He kind of taught you some stuff. Do you remember anything specific? Was it more of just like you kind of just learned over the years, or was it like a couple things that, like we said earlier, like, oh, it just kind of clicked, and from then on you kind of didn't really hear it the same? And is there anything like that, or anything you can remember?
Honestly, at that age, I didn't understand how advanced I was. So he was teaching me, even he told me, but I was a little, as far as like theory and all that, I was pretty much there. You feel me? So like the things he was showing me more or less was like how to be a professional. You know what I'm saying? How to you know, set up your sound. Like he showed me like, you know, how to tweak your amp and all that. So Tim Stewart was actually the person I was filling in for on the Prince stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I got that. He was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? They need a guitar player because I'm about to do this Sheila E stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all righty. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know what I'm saying? He came and picked me up, took me to the audition. I just plugged into what happened was they played like 2 or 3 songs. And, you know, I just watched him. I'm a very good copycat. So I just watched him. Okay. Plugged in. I played the exact parts that he was playing. Like, and that's what I want to get to people to hear too, is like play parts. Yeah. And stick them. I don't care how much theory you know, and you're like, oh man, I think this would sound good right here. Don't play it. Just don't play it. It's cooler to just play your part. It's not about you. It's about everybody else around. Let's get this groove going. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. I learned that at a young age. I got into that groove, and then they was like, yo, solo. You know, I got this all on tape somewhere. I gotta find it. Shit. But they had me take a solo. I soloed and went right back to the pocket. And Prince heard that tape, and they had me back up there the next day. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It was just like that. So,
I mean, hey, there's something to that, especially like, I mean, I hear you. That makes sense, especially as as a band leader, to hear someone kind of play their part and fit in the overall scheme. It's like, that's important. I can see that.
So that's what I learned from Tim, man. Like just being a professional, like I got a chance to watch him up close and see him in rehearsals and stuff. And I seen like, oh, it's just like, you got to just find a pocket, man. That's what it is. You feel me? Yeah. It's not about you.
I get you. That's cool, man. That's great. Let me see here. I'm trying to think. I'm running out of questions. Steve-O. I mean, we kind of asked you earlier. I was kind of wondering, I don't know, maybe we could talk about it again. I think we kind of asked you, but maybe this is a different form of the question. I mean, you came out of playing in your church, playing in that world, and then going on tour with Prince, playing with all these other artists. I guess for me, I was kind of curious about what was it like doing such a transition of like playing like church music. Were you only playing church music, or were you kind of listening to all sorts of stuff?
Oh, no, I was, So as I'm doing church, like I said, I was at school.
Yeah. So you're so you're doing it all at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm at school and I'm in the hood, living in the hood.
Okay.
Right? So I'm hearing rap. Yeah. I'm hearing, you know what I'm saying, Snoop, and then I'm hearing Beethoven. Right. I'm playing Beethoven and hearing Snoop. So it's like, I'm a gumbo of all this stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. But that transition was slightly kind of weird because I do come from a church family. So like it was like, you know, the whole, you know, you playing for the world type thing. You feel me? I could feel that at first. You know what I'm saying? But as going along and I start proving myself as a mature man and I can handle it, it's a job. I think everybody start respecting it more. You know what I'm saying? Because I start holding myself up to a certain standard. You know what I'm saying? But if you just out here just doing what everybody else do, you know, you might as well just hang it up. Like, I think it's a certain standard you got to hold yourself to after a while. Just mature, you know?
Yeah, so, no, that's a good point, man. I can see that. Steve, you got any questions, bro?
I don't. I asked the ones I had.
Man, well, I appreciate you taking your time, man. I mean, I hit you up on Instagram, so, you know, people watching, go follow his stuff. I was checking out your YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to his YouTube. Check out his new album. It's called Trips, right? That's coming out soon. Trips coming out. Check out his stuff. Support him as much as you can. And, man, I appreciate you doing this, taking time out of your day.
No problem.
I mean, I think it's really cool. I mean, you didn't know who I was, so I just thought I called Steve. I was like, Steve, I think he's going to do it, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, man.
I was excited, bro. He's the first person I called.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for any type of interview and just to give information and help others. That's really what I'm about, man.
I love it, man. And honestly, it kind of goes with your whole ethos. Like, that's how I found you. A lot of us found you from online. So it's like, it's cool how you've kind of, for me, like, I love seeing people that kind of embrace the internet and like, it's a whole new era. I mean, maybe, is that something that you kind of thought about? Was that just a natural thing you just did? Like, oh, let me post some stuff, or what was that? Was it just on accident? Was like, I'm
it was
curious.
An accident.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't an accident. The guys that run here and play, they were onto it. They were onto YouTube. They knew like, YouTube's gonna be the next best thing. And they started putting out content back then, 15 years ago. So I was just, you know, lucky enough to be around some of the guys that was running it. And, you know, we went to a church one day. They was like, man, just, you know, whatever. Like, whatever's on that tape is what happened.
That's so cool, man.
Rehearse or nothing.
I mean, dude, that's you guys are ahead of your time, honestly, because that's like, I mean, I love it. I think it's great. Looking back, you know, it's 2020 and it's like, man, that's right on.
It still stands up.
It does. That's what I mean. It's like, you know, and it's not going anywhere. So it's like, it's very cool, man. I just props for like, you're ahead of, you've been ahead of it this whole time. So it's really cool to watch.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
all God. You feel me? All good energy. Look, I want to put this out there too. I got a website now called Industry Lessons.
Oh, I saw that. I'm glad you brought this up. Okay. Yeah. Talk about that for a minute.
So Industry Lessons is my website. Here and Play is not my site. Those are my fam that I was doing some stuff with back then. But this Industry Lessons thing is me.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
the CEO. I run it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, even if y'all want to get down, do some industry lessons on there, talk to some kids, let's do that. But that's, you know, one of my passions, just starting businesses. I love doing that too as well. And that's what brings in income. It goes back to Steve-O's question about doing my albums and stuff. You want multiple income, multiple sources of income to come in, you know what I'm saying, so you can fund everything. Yeah. So that's how I've been able to fund the stuff. Fund my albums because of Industry Lessons and Swag Sample, which I sell. I sell sample packs. So, you know, I've been doing that maybe for like 4 years now. So y'all go check them out. Swagsample.com and industrylessons.com.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I meant to ask you about that, so I'm glad you remembered. So be sure to check that out. Steve was just saying, he's like, I've been using some.
Yeah, I got a couple of the sample packs. I definitely be using them because I'm not a guitar player.
But so industry, what is it? Industrylessons.com, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
cool,
sir.
man. That's great. I mean, I love it. I love how you're promoting just learning music and doing all that stuff. It's really cool, man, because to be able to have like a source that people can go to, it's basically direct. So it's like, I mean, that's really cool, man. I really like that. So be sure to check that out, people. And thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you so much. Till next, we got to do this again. I'll hit you up. We'll do this every once in a while.
It's all good, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Good talking to you, J-Mo.
Yeah.
All right, man.
y'all.
You have a good one, dude.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
I thought I told you I knew him.
I didn't realize, bro. It was even more perfect than I could even imagine.
I thought you knew. I thought that's why you called me.
I had no clue, bro.
I assumed that's why you called me.
I had no clue, dude.
Yeah, we met when we were like 19.
Dude,
I met him before that video came out. Yeah.
That's so badass.
I met him at my grandpa's church. He came with with this gospel artist named Brent Jones.
Okay.
And it was him and a drummer. They had I don't think they had a keyboard player, but they were like playing the tracks. And he was him and a bass player and a drummer. And he was just ripping on this hack.